handedly, we went from had in our mind to ask for $500 million on this bond proposal for Oklahoma City Public Schools to I stopped it all and said, why are we 500 million? Why not go for 1 billion? And we settled at 960 million. But he told everybody that he was afraid to go there, but he did. Now, why do I share that? Because I am a stakeholder. I've played a role in this. So here we are. We are here today, standing in support of our superintendent. This contract should have been executed sometime in September, probably the first part of September. But then here we are now in almost the middle of November. The execution of that contract has still not happened. So obviously there is some type of stall, if you will, in the contract negotiations. Now, it is obvious that per what she has been paid, that she was paid about $80,000 less than her predecessor. Now, in the state of Oklahoma, we have Oklahoma City Public School Superintendent. Our school district is actually the #2 most populated school district in the state of Oklahoma. Tulsa is #1. Now, the problem with all of this is that currently Dr. Polk she's being paid about the top 10 or 11, not percent, just top 10 or 11 people, the highest salary in the state of Oklahoma. #2 largest district, but being paid around the highest of 10th or 11th place. I believe there's a superintendent in Norman who is paid more than the president of these United States. So this is a problem that we have because we are in this misogynistic society that the stats say that if a white male, let's just use simple figures, makes $1, then a woman with the same type of educational background, same type of work experience, she is paid 72 cents. Okay, $1, then she's paid 72 cents. But let's talk about if it's $100,000 that the white male is paid, and then the woman is paid $72,000. That's the problem. But then when you break that down into how much a black woman is paid, she's paid at a rate of 67% of what a white male is paid. And then Latino women, they're paid 65%. It's a problem. And if a person does not care as it relates to a black woman, then please care about just women in general, because they birthed us into this world. So we have to be concerned about them. That's a problem on the financial part. Maybe they have that worked out, maybe they don't. But what is really another problem is the fact that the contract negotiation or discussion was on the agenda for tonight. But last week, when Pastor Morgan and I and Dr. Lee Cooper came and then communicated that we would be here tonight for a press conference and then just to be in support of our superintendent, then they decided they were going to remove it from the agenda. Now, nobody in their right mind can come up with any other reason that they removed it because they knew a lot of light was going to be shed on this situation. That is certainly a problem right there. So that is one of the primary issues that we have right there. So any questions at this point?
Spoken to Dr. Polk at all? Has she commented on the salary question?
No, I have not. No, I have not.
Did Dr. Polk ask you to speak on her behalf?
Absolutely not. I've not spoken to Dr. Polk. Said hello to at the Clara Luca Memorial sit-in movement. Here's a major. Oh, yes, yes, ma'am.
Is Dr. Polk authorized to speak about her job situations in public?
I am not sure of that. Yeah, with what now?
Like her statements, does she have to go through the board to issue a statement?
Are you saying currently is that the position she's in? It seems, but I don't know that for sure, but it seems we're not talking about just contract negotiations. But I believe your question is, does Dr. Polk have to have prior board approval before she speaks on behalf of the district? It seems to me that's the case, but I don't know, but it seems that's the case. Um, Here is a major problem that we love our superintendent. We believe she has done an excellent job leading our district, loving on our kids, teaching our kids, even under a very divisive state superintendent administration that she's had to work under. She has done a phenomenal job of trying to shield her district from a lot of the things that are being pushed down. And thank God we don't have to deal with that anymore. But she has done a phenomenal job with our teachers. She's done a phenomenal job with the administrators and just all the way around. Here is the problem that I don't think anybody really recognizes and really understands is Dr. Polk and her husband, her husband is a retired master sergeant. They are from Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know if anybody understands about that. Well, there in that district superintendent was detained by ICE because they did not have they called him an illegal resident or illegal alien. He is gone now. This all happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Well, again, Dr. Polk is from there. Guess who lives there right now? All her family lives there. Dr. Polk and her husband, he's at an age of obviously retirement. There would be really no reason to stay here in the state of Oklahoma, in the city. I guess the question would be to people that are watching and all of us, if you were living in a state that you had no real connection to and all of your family, they were in a state that more than likely you qualified for that job to lead it. I think if it were me, I think if they hired me, I'd be gone. So I would think that she's just like anyone else, that her mind has to be thinking about, do I just move back home? Because I don't have a contract in place. I was supposed to have a contract in place in September, and now it's almost the middle of November, and no contract is in place. So I might just pack up my little bat and ball and go home and be around my family and spend the last 40 years of my life around family in my home city. Do we understand we are really at risk of losing our superintendent. Oh, we get there. We're at risk. This is not just, oh, you don't pay me and I'm mad and I'm going to go home. No, you don't pay me. My people are there. I think I want to be around them. I think, and I hope this goes on, I think I want to go home and eat some fried chicken and pork chops and all of that I'm used to at home with my family rather than this. So we have to get this right. And I am calling for and demanding that our board chair, that she gets it right, because it appears she has unilateral decision making ability on this trust. I'm seeing what appears to be, when looks over and look at people. I watch this online where it's almost like a censure coming from this school board chair. And please understand, because I'm gonna go on record with this, I endorsed her. I endorsed Paula Lewis, school board chair. Endorsed her and was very active on social media and things of that nature, supporting her. But to look and see how she has handled this board and handled our superintendent, it is appalling. And she needs to be held accountable. And even if they get this right, I'm really of the opinion that she should resign. And then when I look back to see, we had another phenomenal superintendent in person, Dr. Sean McDaniel, who did a yeoman's job of just zipping his mouth as he decided he's going to resign. We know that man was not ready to resign, but he said it, that he had issues with a particular board member, and it certainly was not the other ones. So She seems to be the one that's causing friction with our superintendents. And she does not run Oklahoma City Public School District. And the last I checked, I serve on the Oklahoma County Jail Trust. We as jail trust members, we have certain things in place, policies, goals that we have in place that says to the jail administrator, you need to live up to, you need to work up to these goals that we put in place, these policies that we put in place. Not we're going to come tell you how to do your job. The policy, what has been put in place tells you how to do your job. And if you cannot do the job, Mr. Jail Administrator, Mr. Jail Administrator, then we reserve the right to have a vote to terminate you. But we don't have a right to every jot and tittle to tell the jail administrator what to do, nor does this board have the right to tell this Oklahoma City Public School superintendent of every little jot and tittle. If they don't like the work that she's doing, don't renew the contract. If the contract is renewed and they don't like what she's doing, then have a vote to terminate her. But do not try to tell this lady day in and day out what she should do. I mean, that's almost like some Jim Crow stuff. It's ridiculous. And we're calling for the board to get this contract right. And we're yay close to calling for her to resign, Paula Lewis. And I say yay close, but I'm already there. But the other ones might need to pray about it.
Pastor, quick question. It sounds like you're worried that if Dr. Pope leaves, there will be a negative impact to the school district. What are some of those impacts that you foresee if this happens?
It will be devastating. This school district has gone through so many superintendents over the last 40 years. It would be devastating. We cannot seem to get it right, but when we're on the track of getting it right, and listen, Dr. McDaniel did a great job of righting this ship, but then his legs were cut out from under him. So we don't want to see hers cut out from under her. She has a vision for this district. So if she's gone, then we are in essence like a ship without a rudder. So I don't know what'll happen on the other side, but it will not be good. And then if we put a national search out, then I believe there will be people who are qualified to say, I don't want to go there. I'm gonna move my entire family there. And then they're gonna do me like they did her. I don't want to come to Oklahoma. So please tell me who else is qualified.
When did you first learn of this contract discrepancy? I noticed you posted on your Facebook 5 days ago about this same situation.
Well, I've been watching it. So I guess it would be in September that I'll start watching the fact that it had not been buttoned up. It had not been executed. And, but I mean, things happen, right? So, you don't expect something, well, you do, it should happen immediately. But sometimes things don't. Well, you can't pitch a fit because of that. But what you can do is once you look at it 2 months later and it's still not executed, then you can call for, I'm not going to say we could call for an investigation, but we're certainly asking for somebody to provide some answers.
I think I'm good.
Well, I'm Dr. KOKH, and I've spent about 40 years in education, not only as a classroom teacher, but as a coach and a CFO and vice president. So I'm very much aware of public education. One of the biggest problems I have, that I don't know what's in their bylaws and their policies and procedures, but I just can't imagine one person having the ability to decide what goes on the agenda. Because if the superintendent, who usually make recommendations what goes on the agenda, and it's placed, and then the board either votes for it or they don't vote for it. One person should never have absolute authority to place what's on the board agenda. In fact, whenever you have all of this turnover consistently, if you got married 5 times, you stop looking at the wives and start looking at you. So right now, what's going on? You got rotating superintendents. The only common denomination is this dysfunctional board. As I recall, this format came into place in 2009 when Angela Munson served as the first district-wide elected board president. And that was in response to what happened to John, the gentleman, the first black male superintendent in Oklahoma City, and he was here only about 2 years. So as a result of that, they decided to go to this format. This format is not working. It's dysfunctional, and it needs to be changed. I can't see why the superintendent doesn't place it on the agenda so that the board can vote, so that all of the board members can have a say and not one person have absolute power. And so sometime, somewhere, they need to abandon this format and go back to the regular format that existed previously. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.